Hi guys, JP from FSI panel. Welcome to this new video. I just received a training scenario written by Captain Blackbox711 and today we will give it a try. It's a departure from Bremen in Germany and we are supposed to fly to Frankfurt. I'm sure we will never reach Frankfurt and we will see what Captain Blackbox has cooked for us. So I loaded the aircraft in Frankfurt on runway 27 and I will start FSI panel, let the software do the job, and then we will go for that training scenario. If you want to fly it for yourself, do not watch yet the scenario, do the scenario first and then come back and have a look if you have any question or if you miss something. Alright, let's jump into the cockpit and let's start that nice training scenario. Alright, here we are in the cockpit of the Fenix A320. I didn't set anything, I just loaded the aircraft and I will use FSI panel to program everything. Captain Blackbox has done the job, so I will enjoy it this time. So let's go ahead and bring FSI panel. Alright, and I just click on Start Scenario and now everything will happen. The first thing is the scenario pack and now the cockpit is being prepared. So I will move forward until the cockpit is ready. That will take around 1 minute and we'll be on our way. Alright, scenario is loaded and everything has been set by FSI panel. Performance wise, SID, everything is there. We are ready to depart. I will just click on Takeoff Config to make sure everything is good. And now we have the first instructions. That's the only instruction you will see with the text. The rest will all come by voice, so pay attention to the ATC today as we'll be flying a voice scenario. Alright, so we have to contact tower on 120330 when we are ready. So let's bring 120330. That's the frequency of Bremen Tower. And if you want to listen to the ATC, you can go ahead and dial 12345 on COM2 and that will bring you the ATC.
Runway in use 27, wind 270 degrees at 25, gusting 30 knots, visibility 2,500 meters, rain. Overcast 600 feet, temperature 16, dew point 5, QNH 1009, NOSIC.
Alright, as expected, the weather is not very nice, but good enough for us to fly to Frankfurt today. Let's have a look at the departure frequency. So probably Bremen radar. So right now Bremen radar 124.8. So I will pre-select 124.8. I'm not sure if it's the right frequency, but we will check that once we get airborne. Alright, 1248 is pre-selected, takeoff config is normal, I have acknowledged the message, and we are ready to go. So let's see what Captain Blackbox has cooked for us. Alright, let's call the tower. And the call sign is windmilling 711. Tower, good afternoon, this is windmilling 711. We are ready for departure.
Good morning, windmill 711. Wind 270 degrees at 25, gusting 30, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 27, windmill 711. Alright, clear for takeoff. All the lights are set. Let's start the time here and let's go. Brakes release. And we go. Takeoff. Visibility is getting worse, so it's a good time to get airborne. Alright, Mindflex, SRS, runway, nav blue. $100 knots checked. V1 rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Nav. It's a bad weather, so I will immediately engage Autopilot 1. Autopilot 1 SRS nav. Climb thrust.
Windmill 711. Contact departure 124.8. Bye-bye.
1248 Windmill 711. Bye-bye. Alright, contact departure 1248. That was the good frequency. And we can go flaps 1. Departure hello, Windmill 711, 3000 feet, climbing 4000.
Windmill 711, radar contact. Continue climb flight level 120.
Continue climb level 120, Windmill 711. Alright, speed is good, flaps up. Alright, we have flaps up. Let's do the after takeoff items. We check as well that the packs are on. Yes. And transition altitude is 5000 feet. Temperature outside 16 SAT 7 degrees. We might need engine anti-ice. Engine anti-ice on. 5000 feet transition. Standard set and cross-checked, and the standard, the junior will go on 1013 as well. Set. So far so good. Thank you, Captain Blackbox. Everything looks perfect on that aircraft. On our way to Frankfurt. Let's have a look. Doesn't look very nice for the passengers. We're about to break the clouds. That's beautiful. Look at this beautiful scenery here with the cloud. I love it. Looks good. Let's get above. Excellent. Master caution. Whoa. Alright, we've got hydraulic reservoir low level. Checked, cancel caution. ACAM actions. PTU off. That's very important to switch the PTU off quickly, as it will warm up and it might get to an overheat situation. And then we might lose the other system here on the yellow side. So that's done. Green engine 1 pump off.
711. Copied emergency. Hannover ATC is available on 123.45. Stand by for further instructions.
Roger, Windmill 711 will check the ATC and standing by. Okay, so that's done, and that's the end of the checklist. Stand by ACAM now, and let's turn off the NRTIs. The lights can go off. Seatbelt will obviously remain on, as we have a malfunction. And let's see here. Analyze the status. We are hydraulic. We lost the green hydraulic. Quantity is lost. No more fluid. Clear hydraulic. Then normal brake is gone on the green, but we have the alternate brake, and a couple of spoilers are not working. And auto brake is in up as well, so we'll clear that. And flight control, we saw it as before, a couple of speed brake on the green not working. Status, fuel consumptions increased, of course. the landing gear by gravity extension. Landing distance procedure apply. Alternate Yankee brake with anti-skid. FMS prediction is unreliable. Slat flaps slow, so we have to be careful, and we're only Cat 3 single. In-op system, the green hydraulic. Of course, we lost all the fluid. The spoiler 1 and 5. Cat 3 dual, but we still have Cat 3 single. The normal brake, but we have alternate brake. Auto brake will not be working. Landing gear retract, so that's very important. If we lower the gear, we cannot retract the landing gear, so we have to make sure when we want to lower the gear. Reverser 1 in-op, and the green engine 1 pump is off, of course, and finally your damper 1, clear status. Alright, so let's do a foredeck now. Fact, we have lost the hydraulic green. The options we have Bremen, we have
711, copied your intention to divert to Hanover. Fly heading 090.
Perfect. Heading 090. Heading 090, windmill 711. Alright, Hanover. That's a good decision because Bremen is short runway, bad weather. Hanover looks good. They have 2 runways, long runway with ILS approaches. The risk going to Bremen is we have a short runway, bad weather, lot of wind. And the benefit of Bremen is 2 runways. So if one runway becomes blocked for some reason, then we still have the option to use the other runway, which is very good, especially because our landing gear cannot be retracted. So at least we know that if for some reason we cannot land on 27 right or 27 left, we have the other runway available. So the decision is as per ATC advice, we are going to Hanover. So I'll be flying the aircraft, and now we'll just tell our cabin crew that we divert and inform as well the passengers. So here I will call the cabin crew and give them a neat briefing and we are going to Hanover. So let's listen to the artist for Hanover.
This is Hanover Information Bravo. Runway in use 27 right, ILS approach. Wind 280 degrees at 25 knots. Visibility 2,500 meters. Rain. Overcast 700 feet. Temperature 16, dew point 8, QNH 1009. Transition level 60, NOSIC.
Alright, so weather is not that good, but we have long runways. If we have a look in Hanover, sorry, we plan for the longest runway. So if I look into the airport chart, 27 right is very nice for us. That's 3,200 meters versus 2,400 meters on runway 27 left. So we better plan 27 right. And for that, we have a very nice ILS, Cat 1, 27 right. So that's what we will brief when ATC tells us anything more. So we expect to divert. So let's change the destination. Flight plan. And new destination, Echo
711. Contact Bremen radar 131.330.
131330, windmill 711. Bye bye. Radar hello, this is windmill 711 maintaining flight level 120.
Windmill 711. Identified. Descend flight level 100. Fly direct Charlie Echo Lima and hold as published. Expect ILS 27 right.
Roger, descend level 100, direct to Charlie Echo Lima, hold as published, and we expect 27 right, FSI, windmill 711. Alright, so flight level 100, vertical speed 700 feet per minute, that's good, and direct to Charlie Echo Lima and all as published. So Let's do that. Charlie Echo Lima. That's the direct nav. And what is the hold over there? 257, right turn.
Descend flight level 70, reduce speed at own convenience.
Roger, descend 70, on speed, windmill 711. 70 on speed, so I will start to reduce the speed. Why I cannot press that button? Alright, doesn't matter for now. Holding at cell, and we said it was 257 right turn. So 257 right turn. Insert. Okay, now navigation is done. We need to reduce the speed. So let's go speed initially 230, and I will go on open descent so the aircraft slow down as we are reaching our holding pattern. Approaching 10,000 feet, let's put some lights as we are going to the holding pattern, and we will start to brief the aircraft. No rush, we don't have the land as soon as possible, but it's not advisable to continue because if you lose another hydraulic, then you're going to be in a big trouble. So we decided we will go to Hanover on 27 right, so we will prepare this approach. And as well, we need to give as well some time to the cabin, so no rush. We have 5 tons of fuel, 2 runways available, and we declared an emergency. So everything is good. Alright, about to enter the hold. I will reduce the speed to the best holding speed, which is basically green dots. So let's keep 210 knots for now. And
Windmill 711, descend 4,000 feet QNH 1009. When ready for the approach, contact Director 119.605. Good day.
okay. Roger, descend 4,000 feet 1009, and when ready for the approach, Director on 119.605, windmill 711. Good day. Alright, when ready, so I will not call them now, we are not ready. So let's prepare this approach. We have 4,000 feet as cleared, and they give us already 1009, so we will do that in a minute. So let's change the destination is still Frankfurt, so let's update our MCDU. So new destination is Echo Delta Delta Victor. Insert. Now the arrival. We are going to fly from Charlie Echo Lima the ILS Zulu 27 right. ILS Zulu 27 right. And via Charlie Echo Lima. This is where we are right now. So if I insert this, I should see basically, if I go on my plan page, I can see that I have the holding, Charlie Echo Lima, the first waypoint Delta 002F, Xaver, and the ILS, which is confirmed right there on my chart. So at least now the MCDU is done. So let's brief. Status wise, we know that we are having a problem with our landing gear. This is the main thing, so it is clearly advisable to lower the gear, maybe in this holding pattern. We have plenty of fuel, and there is not much distance to fly until we are on ground. So we will probably lower the gear in the holding pattern, and then once we go outbound, we will start to configure the aircraft with flaps for landing flaps right there. So let's brief that approach, and I will just already change the QNH so I don't forget it to 1009 on both sides. All right, so we are going to fly an ILS runway 27 right in Bremen. The localizer frequency will be 108.9, inbound course 271. We will come via Xaver at 3,000 feet, and initially we are leaving Celle at 4,000. We maintain 4,000 until 14.8 miles Sierra Alpha Sierra or radial 259, and then we can start our descent toward 3,000 feet. Further descent on the glide at position Xaver. We will have a 3 degrees descent down to a minimum Cat 1 of 369. Alright, so let's set up this performance page. QNH 1009, temperature 16. By the way, temperature we should have anti-ice on. And finally 280 at 25 knots for the wind. Transition level 60 by the ATC. We're gonna go flaps full, and the barrow minimum is 369. 369. Alright, so this is done. Nav setting will be done by the aircraft. We can already put ILS and ILS. We cannot use the auto brake, it's in-op. So let's do a quick landing performance calculation. So arrival performance. Let's see, braking action. Let's put good and medium. We assume that's the weather. There is no snow, there is weather is good. It's just maybe a little bit wet, and we don't have a braking action on the ATC, so let's go for good, medium to good. Okay, the runway is 27 right, the wind 280 at 25 knots, temperature 16 degrees, and 1009. Landing weight, let's see what we got now, 60 tons, so let's use 60 tons. 60.0. Auto brake we cannot use, so it's gonna be max manual. Idle, no reverse, manual landing, flaps full, and we have an hydraulic malfunction. The green system is not working, so we can see that we need about 2,000 meters to stop, so we are good to continue. Alright, performance is done, so it's gonna be manual braking, and I will be using idle reverse on the both engines. Now in case of go around, let's see what we have to do. So if we don't see the runway at minimum, we climb straight ahead after passing 600 feet or 0.8 miles from Hotel Alpha Delta, 2.2 miles Hotel Bravo Delta, whichever is later. Turn right, maximum speed 185 on heading 356, climbing to maximum 3,000 feet. Alright, so basically almost immediately right turn heading 356, climb 3,000 feet. I just keep that in mind and we will be good. Alright, so this is done. We briefed the approach, and we have our main issue is the gear. So in case we go for go around, it's gonna be go around, push the thrust lever forward, flaps 3, and we keep the gear down. So that will be a big penalty, and then we request another approach on runway 27 right if available, or if not available, 27 left. If the weather is closed for some reason, now the weather is good for us, but should the airport be closed, then we will proceed to Frankfurt. We still have quite a bit of fuel for that. So I suggest now we start putting the gear down. So as ATC told us that as soon as we request, we tell them that we are ready, we will be cleared. So let's go for the gear then. So maximum landing gear extension is good, and we are going to use the alternate procedure. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we have to do, handle 3 times, 3 turns. And we have 3 greens. Once we have 3 greens, we just put the landing gear level to down, and our landing gear is down. We might get NICAM actions for the landing gear door because the door will not close. If you look outside, we can see that the landing gear door remains open. Alright, so that's it. Landing gear not closed, maximum speed 250, and fuel consumption again, and FMS prediction unreliable. Checked, clear the status, and we are ready to fly the approach, I guess. So let's call ATC and tell them we are ready. Director hello, Windmill 711, we are ready for the approach.
Windmill 711, roger, cleared ILS 27 right.
Clear ILS 27 right, Windmill 711. Alright, so we are clear for the approach. So what I'll do here, flight plan, exit the hold. So now I'm expecting the aircraft to turn on track for the approach. And I will activate the approach in the MCDU. Therefore, if I go to manage speed, I will fly up speed, which is perfect. Now we have the next clearance. If I push constraint here, you can see that we have 4,000 feet up to this point. This is confirmed on the chart right there. Here. So 4,000 feet on that segment, and then we can descend to 3,000 feet to intercept our glide slope. So that's confirmed. So I can go 3,000 feet. And if I press descent, I will have normally constraints. The aircraft doesn't do it, so let's maintain the altitude 4,000. It should have maintained the altitude, alright. Let's go back to 4,000 feet. We'll try once we leave the hold. Normally, as we have a restriction, the aircraft should not descend. So let's see if it happens again once we leave the hold. Alright, we are passing Charlie Echo Lima. Now the next waypoint is Delta 002 Foxtrot, and we have this constraint. So normally, if I put 3,000 feet and request descent, now we have a HAL constraint, and descent is armed. Descent blue, perfect. So now it's gonna work. Alright, so now we just have to worry about our speed. So the gear is down, we already have a lot of drag, so we don't have to worry too much about slowing down. And on top of that, we have a lot of headwind, so probably the aircraft will maintain a high speed on final. Even though my approach speed is 137, we will be protected by ground speed, so I expect the aircraft to fly 150 to 160 knots on final due to the headwind. Alright, so we are approaching that point. Let's go flaps 1. Flaps 1, we get the status. So max speed is okay. This is all known. And let's see if we have anything new on the INOP. Landing gear door, that's the new thing. And otherwise everything is good. So clear status. So once we when we pass this point here, then the aircraft should start its descent to meet the glide slope at 3,000 feet over Xaver. And we have been clear for the approach. So I will arm the approach as well. So you can see now that VNAV is doing a perfect job. HAL constraint, 4,000 feet, descent is armed. When we pass that waypoint in less than 1 mile, then the aircraft descent mode will become active. Let's see that. Here we go. And now descent will become active. And we are clear for the approach. Let's arm the approach.
Windmill 711, contact tower 120.180. Safe landing.
120.180, Windmill 711. Thank you, bye-bye. 20180, here we go. Okay, let's have a look. We have localizer, glide slope star. We are turning inbound. Missed approach altitude 3,000 feet is set. So the go around, remember, straight ahead and right turn 356, climbing 3,000, and then we make sure we have nav mode. Alright, let's contact the tower. Tower Guten Tag, Windmill 711 were established on the ILS 27 right.
Windmill 711, clear to land 27 right, wind 280 degrees at 25 knots. Rescue services at the runway. They will approach you once parking brake is set.
Roger, clear to land 27 right and we'll remain on the runway. We will stop on the runway, windmill 711. Alright, so we are clear to land. I set the taxi light to on as a reminder that we are clear to land. And let's have a look at the anti-ice. Now temperature is good, we don't need anti-ice anymore. And I forgot to arm the speed brake, which usually I do whenever the gear is down. So now it is armed. Alright, now we have flaps 1. We are getting radio altimeter alive. So at around 2,000 feet, I will go flaps 2. And then immediately 3 and full. We have to remember that the flaps are slow. That was on the status. So it might take a little bit more time. So let's be conservative and let's go now flaps 2. Flaps 2. Weather in front is not very good. What are the passengers? The passengers, they see nothing as well. Huh? Oh yeah, on the right side they are a little bit luckier. Beautiful. Okay, so I have the runway in front in sight. That's beautiful. Let's go flaps 3. And finally flaps full. And landing checklist. We have a landing memo, all green. Runways in sight. Missed approach altitude 3,000 feet. And as you can see, the aircraft is maintaining 160 knots. Because we have around 50 knots of headwind. If the wind decreases, then the speed will be adjusted automatically. So right now we have a high ground speed, a high indicated airspeed, but the ground speed is very low. This is a protection here, 116. We don't want to go too slow on the ground speed. That's why we are flying fast now. All right, in case of go around, remember, go around toga. Flaps 3, the gear remains down and we turn right. We have the line right there on 356, climbing 3000. Good. So let's concentrate on that landing. And we need to stop on the runway as well to see the fire brigade. We are lucky because you can see that there is a lot of rain coming to the airport, and right now it is just at the threshold of 09er left, and it's coming because of the wind. So we might be in trouble at minimum, guys. We might be in trouble, and you will see that sometimes you see the runway very far and suddenly the visibility drops, and I'm afraid that we're gonna get some rain very soon. All right, I will take it manually at around 500 feet. And we will just go with idle reverses. See the visibility? We had very good visibility 1 minute ago, and suddenly you might end up having rain and poor visibility. So you always have to be careful in IFR flying. All right, 500 feet. We are clear. Everything looks good. Autopilot comes off. Manual flight. Land. You can see that the speed went down to 150 from 160 now. Slightly low, correcting.
Minimum.
Continue landing. I'm on the profile on the PAPI.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
All right. Remember, either reverse. We have no decel because we have to stop manually. So I'm hitting slowly the brakes. We have a long runway. No need to brake like an idiot here. And I will just stop in order for us to be able to vacate right there in case we can taxi the aircraft, sorry, by ourselves. So let's stop here. All right. Parking brake set and attention crew at station. Let's analyze the situation. We have landed. Aircraft seems to be safe. I don't see any reasons to evacuate. What do you think? Fire brigade is there. Oh, excellent. Let's see if the passenger can see the fire brigade as well. Yeah, the fire brigade is here. Perfect. All right, so
Scenario is over. Well done. A big thanks to Captain Blackbox711 for creating it. Cheers, JP.
all right, that was a pre-recorded announcement. That was not me on the video, but that's good. So we managed, guys. Any question, any comment? I would be pleased to answer it in the comment section below. And please subscribe to the channel. That will help me making more and more video. Of course, now, if we look at the actual situation, I will just clean up the airplane and I will tell the fire brigade that I'm able to taxi by myself, and with caution we will taxi to the gate by yourself. All right, that's the end of that training scenario. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, stay safe and see you on the next video. Thank you guys, bye bye.